Throughout the run of the Kenner Star Wars toy line, most of the packages stayed the same, but every once in a while Kenner would change things up. Well, let's take a look at when they did. And today we're going to look at the time Kenner changed boxes or packages to the Star Wars line. Like I said in the opening, most of the time the toys stay the same, the figures on the card, the picture of that figure didn't change throughout the release of the films. Now, I'm not talking when they changed the logo from Star Wars to Jedi. We're talking when the actual picture changed. And not only did some of the action figures get new updated photos, so did some of the playsets and toy ships. And I thought it'd be kind of fun to go through each one of these. So let's just start with the ships. Let's take a look at the AT-AT box. AT-AT box, not AT-AT box. As you can see here, it's the AT-AT in the snow with the Empire Strikes Back logo. So when it came time to switch the box over to Return of the Jedi, Kenner wanted to do more than just swap the names and show that the AT-AT was actually in Return of the Jedi. As you can see, they updated the AT-AT box, removing the AT-AT from Hoth and placing it on Endor. Of course, they did the same thing with the AT-ST. Junkman, isn't it Asta? Let's take a look. The original AT-ST released in the Empire Strikes Back box had the AT-ST on Hoth. For the Return of the Jedi box, it was updated to move it over to Endor. As a kid, I didn't even remember the AT-ST being on Hoth, but it was hard to miss in Return of the Jedi. What about the Falcon? Something that appeared in all three movies. Well, it got three different boxes. First, let's look at the Star Wars box. The Millennium Falcon in the Star Wars box. Now, when it did cross over to Empire Strikes Back, at first they kept the same photo and just changed the label. But not long into the Empire Strikes Back run, they changed up the photo. The updated photo would stay the same until Return of the Jedi, when Kenner updated the photo again. Here's one that didn't change too much, the Rebel Transporter. You know, that one that's like a carrying case and a ship. It's always an odd toy. The box of this one changed during the release of Empire Strikes Back. But as you can see here, it's mostly the color that changed. Now, we had no official reason why Kenner decided to swap up the color tone of these boxes, but they did, and they also did it with the Snowspeeder. As you can see here, the Snowspeeder was first released under the Empire Strikes Back logo with this color box. And it was slightly updated, also under the Empire Strikes Back logo, to this one. Now we look at the time the ships changed boxes. So let's take a look at the action figures. Yep, they got updated also. A few of them. Now, I'm not going to talk about something like 3PO and R2 that went from a regular figure to one with a sensor scope. Of course, they changed the picture there. We're talking when the figures stayed the same, but they just updated the photo on the card. And let's start with the oldest man in Star Wars, Obi-Wan Kenobi. We have the familiar Star Wars look for Obi-Wan Kenobi. There was really no reason to update this iconic look. It's a great looking card. But a year into Return of the Jedi, Kenner decided to change things up, and they redid the Obi-Wan card, this time giving Obi-Wan an airbrush hand. Look at that hand. It's airbrush. What's up with that? Now, you can find the original Obi-Wan card photo used for Return of the Jedi. This wasn't until about 84 that they decided to change up, and Kenner did a lot of this around 1984. Another one they did was Boba Fett. Here's Boba Fett on the Star Wars card. This photo was used for Boba Fett on the Star Wars Empire and the first year of Return of the Jedi, but as you can see here, they updated it with a photo of Boba Fett from the film. I don't know about you, but I really like the original Boba Fett, although it wasn't a scene from the movie. But it's Boba Fett, you can't go wrong. Another one to change between Star Wars and 1984 Return of the Jedi second series is Darth Vader. The original Star Wars Darth Vader card got its update for Return of the Jedi in 1984 with this photo here. I don't know, just doesn't have the iconic feel that the original did. Kenner wasn't done yet. Let's look at Han Solo. Han Solo on the Star Wars card. Again, this look appeared on the Star Wars Empire and the first release of the Return of the Jedi figures, but it was updated by 1984, where you have a whole new picture of Han Solo. This is another one I don't really understand why. I guess they kind of just wanted to update the main characters, make the figures look fresh, but this photo here isn't as good as the original one used. And what about Chewbacca's co-pilot, Chewbacca? Yep, here he is on the original Star Wars card, and during the run of Return of the Jedi, he swapped over to this photo here. It's Chewbacca on Endor. I can kind of understand this one more, although I prefer the original card art, but at least this one has Chewbacca from Return of the Jedi. I wonder if that fooled any kids. Hey, I got the Return of the Jedi Chewbacca. You only got the Star Wars Chewbacca. I'm sure it fools some kids. Well, what about Luke Skywalker? Yeah, it fooled Luke Skywalker also, but let's look at his card. Another iconic look for Luke Skywalker on the Star Wars card. And for Return of the Jedi, it was changed to this one. This is what they went for? Yep, this is what they went for. Now there's two figures for Empire Strikes Back that got a card update during the Empire Strikes Back line. They didn't even wait for the next movie. I don't know why Kenner wasn't happy, but they just updated it randomly for no reason. You have the one known as Luke Skywalker walking, as you can see here. It's Luke Skywalker just walking around Bespin. And then you have the Luke Skywalker, what I like to call the peekaboo card, where it looks like Luke Skywalker's peeking around the corner. Oh no, look at Luke Skywalker. You better be careful. Better not use those dark Jedi Knight arts. He's got his eyes over you. He's making sure you ain't doing no Sith stuff. Sorry about that. And there's one more to look at. Princess Leia Bespin. Here's Princess Leia on Bespin. A nice looking card if you ask me. But Kenner wasn't happy with it, because then we got this one right here. Princess Leia again on Bespin with an updated card, both on the Empire Strikes Back logo. And that's it. And there's a few more we can talk about, like the Tauntaun with the open belly and the box without the open belly, but that's more of an updated feature, and you can see why the box was changed. As far as I know, that's all the ones. I might have missed any. If so, let me know in the comments below.
Hey, Junkman channel popping though.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.